My name is Tarek and welcome to another special episode of Tarek's Community Podcast, Big Local Life. And today I'm going to tell you a bit about myself. First of all, I would like to tell you an experience I had when I first got introduced to Big Local. It was because of a person named Taj. Now, Taj is a special friend of mine. First of all, I did another course with him called Arban. So I met him there. So we spent time together doing cleaning for the environment, planting plants, um, saving the environment. We had a really close friendship. I had a really close friendship with Taj. He was one of my greatest friends. And then he introduced me to Big Local, which I was scared to go at first. For instance, he gave me the book, the Heston West Big Local book. That book, he didn't tell me much about. But when I read about what Heston West Big Local do, I got inspired. But I have to admit, I got scared to get in contact with them because I'm always sometimes frightened. I used to be frightened to meet new people. So after a few weeks, I rang the number and I said, "Is this Taz?" And Taz replied, "Yes." Then I started. Then there was a fashion show that I really got invited by Taj. Well, Taj is the man because he was my best friend. Then I went to that fashion show, and he invited me. And the kindness of people at Heston West Big Local is just unbelievable. They welcome all people from different backgrounds. It's just one big family. One thing that really highlighted me and really inspired me is they care about, even if you have a disability, they care about you. Because I have a disability myself, cerebral palsy. When I was young, I came to UK because I wasn't treated well in my country, Beirut. For instance, I wasn't treated well, like people were making fun of me when I was disabled, and I wasn't allowed in school. I came to UK when I was 5. But after I came to UK, I did a few courses. One was called Arban, and I did ICT in college. And I tell you, one of my favorite subjects is ICT or IT. And it really helped me to learn computer skills. And then after that, I remember I did Arban Community. Arban Community is another 15-week program for people with disabilities. And I learned cooking skills. I have to admit, cooking was not my favorite. But now, cooking is one of my highlights. I'm trying to remember what we cooked. My first ever meal was pizza. I'm sure everyone likes pizza. I have to admit, one of my favorite pizza is cheese pizza, like loads of cheese. Um, Also, one thing that I really enjoyed doing the R-Barn program is getting interview skills ready for work. That was one of my highlights. Now, the reason why I'm talking about R-Barn first is that's when I met Taj. That's when I met Taj. And Taj kept going on about Heston West Big Local. I kept asking him. He kept saying the same name for me 3 times. He kept saying the name 3 times to me. And I said, what is Heston West Big Local? He said, oh, it's a community just like this. And so I read the book, as I said before. I kept reading it. And when I went to the fashion show, as I told you before, people, I was a bit shy because, you know, I thought no one would like me. Because I did have a really, really bad experience when I was young where people don't like me. As I said, I wasn't allowed in school or I wasn't allowed anywhere. But when I went to the event, people were so friendly. Taj told me all about this every day. Come to Big Local, come to Big Local. And now I'm starting my own projects. And one of my projects is that I recently set up is Big Local Live. Big Local Live is to inspire other people around the world, to inspire other people in their communities by telling their experiences, by encouraging them to do stuff like projects, like to help promote food banks, stuff like that. Also, the big one for me is to support people with disability, because not many people know what disability is. Disability is an illness that people don't realize. For example, disability is an illness where sometimes you can't walk, like I can't walk, or sometimes you may forget a lot of things, or you may not be good at, you know, certain stuff in technology. But if you keep learning, if you have a disability, that doesn't stop you from learning. It doesn't stop you from learning. You continue to learn. Now, I've heard quite a sad story when I was young with my disability, as you know. So I would like to give you some tips on how to cope with your disability if you have one. Show the people that make fun of you that you can still do a project like I did. Because having a project is a good thing to do. First of all, do what you're passionate about. Don't let people hold you back. Because if you do, that will let you down. Those are the main points for me. Because when people make fun of me, I didn't like it. It's not a nice thing. And I'll tell you something. So far, when I started this Big Local thing, I was worried that people were going to make fun of me. But actually, they got me into the school, got me to do this project. And, you know, no one makes fun of me. And I was really, you know, welcomed. receiving hugs from people. Big Local is a family, including our barn as well. Um, the other thing that really touched me about Big Local is that um, I got to learn how to do, you know, even I didn't stand up in front yet in Big Local yet, but I got to learn how to speak in like, how to speak in very good, how to write very good speeches, how to prepare for these community podcasts. I also did a show that I would like to share. It's called Bristol Court Live. Bristol Court Got Talent. Not Bristol Court Live, but Bristol Court Got Talent. Now, Bristol Court was a very inspirational story to me because it really touched me to help disabled people. And I have to tell you, it made me cry on the day because seeing people and standing in front of an audience hosting this show was very touching. I tell you, one of my highlights was seeing people just having fun, just crying and with joy, not crying with sadness, but crying with joy. Yeah, that was one of my highlights. But what I want people to know about me is that there's nothing stopping me from doing what I can do because I love to see people. I love to see people happy, not sad. Because I want to overcome what I had in the past. Yeah. But what I would say is do what you can, do what you can to achieve. Don't let anyone hold you back, including the people that you don't like. I'm going to share another experience I had in our barn, and that is planning projects, going to visit different organizations like the Open Kitchen, supporting them and helping other people in the community is one of my highlights. Also, Heston West Big Local, when we did some community work, for example, cleanup days, murals, that was one of my highlights. And telling stories to the MPs, local MPs like Seema Mahartra and all the other MPs. That was one of my highlights. I'm just trying to think. I also enjoyed, one thing I really enjoyed is doing, at the end of our barn program is getting my certificate. Also Big Local. I couldn't be at the ceremony, but I was overjoyed. Getting the certificate. Especially, I was a bit sad though because I didn't get to meet Sadiq Khan. Sadiq Khan, I really wanted to meet him and tell him about my experience due to transport problems. But hopefully this year I will, if this lockdown finishes. The way I'm coping with lockdown at the moment is I'm just doing these projects, staying happy, staying strong, and staying powerful. The message I want to leave you today is always stay strong. Do something in this lockdown and don't let your disability stop you. And look for something you can do for a course. Just remember the story when I was young. Don't let anyone make fun of you or call you stuff or just forget about them and be a good person and do stuff for the community. Do something productive, like set up a small project, like I'm doing. Maybe set up like a group where you can talk about different things that impacts you. Or maybe you can just create an art project. So yeah, don't let anything stop you from doing what you like to do. Achieve your hobby. So this is me. That's my story. And just remember, don't let anything stop you. Just achieve what you want to achieve. This is Tarek's Community Podcast. I'm your host, Tarek Moran.